Ian? Well, how about a date? But, well,
Well, really, no thanks, Woody.
Well, suppose he did it this way.
Not bad, actually. I would say fun, even. Like a better option of most of what I ski. This is pretty fun ski. And the snow is terrible. I mean, nobody's been over here for days. Because it melts, the wind blows, or refreezes over and over and over. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today we're reviewing the Blizzard Anomaly 94. Now, I reviewed the Anomaly 88. I got a mix of comments. Some people saying, Elliott, finally, somebody said what I felt. This ski did feel weird, or it did feel clunky, or it did feel like I was trying to do too much. And then a bunch of other comments saying, well, I really liked it, and a bunch of other people really like it, and all these other reviewers like it. Just so you guys know, I don't watch other reviews before I review skis. I try to go in blind so I don't kind of get someone else's voice in the back of my head when I'm reviewing. So I went out and reviewed the Blizzard Anomaly 94. I paid my own money. I went down to my local ski shop over at Greenwoods. They give me a small discount to review them, so big shout out to Greenwoods, thank you. And I spent my own money and reviewed these skis. So if you guys like independent reviews, please consider using my affiliate links down below. That's a way of supporting the channel that doesn't cost you any extra money with whatever ski you buy, though. I don't care which ski you buy. I'm just trying to give you my honest opinion. So without further ado, let me tell you what I thought about the Blizzard Anomaly 94. Blizzard, I'm not gonna get into that today. There's plenty of other videos you can watch where I talk about how you pronounce it. So what did I think? What were my first impressions of the Blizzard Anomaly 94? Well, to be honest, I liked it a lot. it was quite a lot better than the Anomaly 88. Sometimes that happens where a certain cut of a ski fits a little bit better. We'll kind of get into the details more, but I felt like the added width of the 94 made it so that those kind of clunky tips in the 88 blended in with the ski a little bit more. There is still a little bit of awkwardness here and there sprinkled in, but it's not nearly as noticeable and it doesn't get in the ski's way nearly as much as the 94 width. This has happened with a couple of skis now. The old bent 100s I didn't like, but I like the bent 110s. I like the Headcore 93 a lot more than the Headcore 99. Sometimes a platform makes a little bit more sense in a different width, and this is one of those scenarios in my opinion. But I was surprised. I was like, wow, these are a lot more fun in the trees than I thought they'd be. This is a very fun turn to initiate, and there's a lot of things to like about the Anomaly 94. Now, as the name suggests, these have a 94mm width underfoot. I skied these in a 182cm length, which means that they had an 18.5 meter turn radius. Typically, these retail for $750, but right now you can get them for just under $600 at evo.com. So like I said, I'll have a link down below. Ski prices are weird now. They're already on sale and we just hit March. Go figure. But anyway, that's where they're at price-wise. Now, first let's talk about the good, and then we'll jump into the drawbacks, because like any ski, this ski has things it does well and things that it struggles with or kind of sacrifices it made in the design to get those good things. First thing I have in my notes is this feels so much better than the Anomaly 88. The tip progression from the sidewall is so much smoother. It just feels on point. The way that you build in your pressure and then have the ski hook up is so much more rewarding and so much smoother than the Anomaly 88. I really enjoyed that part of the ski. This platform feels with its flex progression very similar to the Nordic Enforcer, but a lot of where the bite and the turn initiation is happening is more towards the tip. So if you're somebody who likes that part of the Nordic Enforcer but is looking for more of a bitey, grippy, tip-based turn initiation, this may be a really good option for you. I think also if you have a nice centered stance and you take them off trail, the ski is really rewarding. If you have a good center of balance, you can really get your turns in and out without being punished a bunch. I feel like if you had light amounts of powder, that'd be a really fun ski to take in the trees. The flotation isn't crazy good, but again, it's a 94 millimeter ski, so you know, what are you expecting? It's not gonna be a designated powder ski. The timing of the turn is beautiful. I really like the shape. I like the way they hook up into the turn. I talked about that before, but I really think that's a highlight of the ski. I put in my notes here, but it feels like a finely tuned, more aggressive Rustler. Which, you know, I really like the Rustler, but this is nice. This is like, oh, you like the Rustler platform and its diversity? What if you had something that was a little bit more aggressive, could hook your turns a little harder, and, you know, you could get more turn and you could kind of push it to get tighter radius turns than the Rustler. And I mean that as a huge compliment, because I like the Rustler series, and this ski finally feels like an improvement from the Rustler, whereas the Anomaly 88 feels like Frankenstein's monster. When this ski is at the width of 94, you really start to see some of the positives. The DNA of the Rustler doesn't feel like it's scraped, but it feels like it's improved upon at this width. The other thing I like is I like the material is very springy in and out of the turns. It's not as aggressive as a DPS ski or a Black Crow's Octo, but it's more springy than something like the Nordic Enforcer 94. I really feel like the ski will give you more energy in and out of the turns than its kind of cousin of the same width. It's funny, for similar widths, these are very different skis. But now that we talked about the good, let's talk about some of the drawbacks, because while I like the ski a lot, it is not without its shortcomings, so let's talk about them. First off, it's a bit slow edge to edge with the turn initiation. It just kind of takes its time. It's not like you're gonna get really back and forth, snappy turns on the dot. You have to kind of massage it in and then hook it up, but once you get there, it is satisfying. I do think it's not nearly as bad, but I do think the tip is still just a little chunky and a little bit awkward. It's not nearly as bad. It's like 1/10 as noticeable as the Anomaly 88, but it is still there. And you only really notice it when you're in either soft snow or large radius turns, and then it will kind of get in your way, but it's not in your way in and out of every turn. It's like those kind of exceptions where you might notice it. Like I said, it's not nearly the extent of the Anomaly 88, but every once in a while, I would kind of get a glimpse of it, and that can be a downside. A bit of a top speed wobble when you start going above GS speed, especially in firmer sections. So I think for a lot of people who are getting a 94 millimeter width ski, they're not necessarily looking for it to, you know, jet set straight down the hill. But if you are, you'll start to notice a little bit of speed wobble once you kind of get into a tuck at GS speeds and start going beyond that. But honestly, most skiers could go years without ever seeing it. And then also, I've noticed when you're in crowded areas, it's a little bit rigid and awkward. It doesn't really like to do the short radius turns. It kind of wants to do the quick like hop turns in the trees, or it kind of wants to do those long open radius turns well. But as soon as you start to play with the radius too much in kind of congested areas where the track gets more narrow than you might like, this ski is less flexible than other skis. You may not care about that. You may just wait for the crowd to go and then you're gonna run whatever line you wanna run. But it's worth noting that is a little bit of a downside. It's not as flexible with its turn radius as some of the other skis out there. So what would I give this ski for a score? Honestly, this ski makes me a lot less depressed compared to the Anomaly 88. The Anomaly 88 just made me feel so cynical about the ski industry, right? Let's just slap this here and there. And I do think that some skis, when you take whatever the original is and you narrow it down or widen it out, it just doesn't get that same performance. And who knows, maybe the 88 is a stretched out 84, maybe the 94 is the original and the 88 is kind of thinned down. Whatever the math is on it, it doesn't equate to a smooth turn in the 88, but once you get into the 94 and you have a little bit more width to work with, those aggressive tips aren't in your way as much. It's not as noticeable. The progression of the flex feels more gradual and smooth. The skis feel kind of more springy in that shape. You know, it's hard to say exactly what's going on here, but I have to admit I like this version of the ski a lot more. I think the price is reasonable. I think, you know, I guess, what did I say, $5.99? Yeah, they're $5.99 now, but let's go off of retail. They're typically $760. That's a little steep for this ski. It's pretty good though. It's a nice alternative to the Nordic Enforcer. It's not forcing you to be on your tips. It's allowing you to make that kind of tip initiation rather than a tail turn. And I'm glad to see that there feels like there's more of a vision in the 94 than there was in an 88. So for me, I like this ski. I think it's pretty good. I think a lot of people will really enjoy it. And I don't know. I'm less depressed than I was before. It feels like Blizzard, however you want to say it, has a little bit more of a vision, and this feels like it's working off of the Rustler platform more and building off of it in a really positive way. So for me, the Anomaly 88 is probably, if you get them on sale, you could probably say the score is a little bit higher. I'd say at full retail of $750, they're probably like an 8.4. You could probably make the argument that they're like an 8.6 if you got them for the $600 price. But for me, I think with the cost and what you're going to use this for, it's a very diverse ski, and I think for a lot of people, they'll have a ton of fun on this. So for me, it's an 8.4, a little steep for what you're getting, but overall, a nice vision, a nice shape, and it blends together well at this width. I have no vested interest in being right about all Blizzard anomalies and I like this brand and I don't like this brand. Because I'm not paid by any brands, I don't really care. I just care about good skis. And in the Anomaly 94's case, this is a good ski. So like I said before, if you like this kind of content and you want to support independent reviews, please consider using those affiliate links down below. We also have channel memberships. You can like and subscribe. That's a free way to support the channel. But as always, more than anything, just thanks for taking time out of your day to watch my reviews. It means a ton to me, and I hope you found it helpful. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Saturday, and well, would you like to go?
Why, yes, Woody. I'll have to talk to my folks about it, but I think I can go. That'll be fun.